First up, it's part 2, where you get a topic and have a minute or two to just talk about it.
Always a fun challenge.
And the topic we've got, describe a time that something changed your life in good ways.
Ooh, I'm already thinking about my own answer. So many little moments can have a huge impact, huh?
Absolutely. All right, so picture yourself sitting across from the examiner.
Okay, so tell me about a time that something changed your life in good ways, you should say. When and where it happened, what happened, how you felt about it, and explain how it changed your life in good ways. You'll have 1 to 2 minutes for this, so no worries if I stop you. I'll let you know when the time is up. Can you start speaking now, please?
Okay, so let's hear a Band 8 answer first. Test taker speaker.
I'd like to talk about the time I got my first job. It was a big change in my life. It happened 3 years ago in Dhaka, Bangladesh, when I joined a small IT company as a junior web developer. Getting this job, it was really exciting for me because it was my first step into the professional world, I had worked really hard during my studies learning programming, and this job gave me the chance to actually use those skills. I felt happy, really proud of myself because it gave me financial independence, and it boosted my confidence, too. It also made me more responsible because I had to manage my time and meet deadlines. This whole experience changed my life in good ways by, helping me grow both personally and professionally. It taught me the value of hard work, teamwork, and it opened up new opportunities for my career.
That was a solid answer, right? Hit all the important points. Now, how about a Band 9 response to that same question? Test taker speaker.
One event that really changed my life for the better was when I moved to Bengaluru, India for higher studies. This was about 5 years ago. I got accepted into a prestigious university there to pursue a degree in computer science. Moving to Bengaluru was, a transformative experience, I'd say. It exposed me to a totally new environment just filled with opportunities. The university had excellent professors, modern facilities, and such a diverse student body, people from all over the country. I felt excited and nervous at first, to be honest, but over time, I adapted to the city's vibrant culture and that fast-paced lifestyle. The experience helped me become more independent, improve my communication skills, and expand my network. This change had a really positive impact on my life. It gave me access to quality education and career opportunities. It also helped me grow as a person, made me more confident and open-minded.
Thank you. Now let's move on to some follow-up questions about this. Okay, before we hear those follow-up answers, let's rewind a bit. What really stood out for you in those two answers?
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Both are grammatically correct and well-structured.
Yeah.
But there's just something about that Band 9 answer. It just feels more like Band 9,
Right, like there's this extra layer there.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can figure out exactly what it is as we get into the part 3 questions.
Yeah, part 3 is where the examiner digs a bit deeper. You have to think on your feet a bit more.
All right, let's start with this. What are the disadvantages when people keep making changes?
Let's hear that Band 8 response. Test taker speaker.
Well, when people keep making changes, it can be pretty stressful, right? They have to adjust to new things all the time. It can make them feel unstable or unsure about the future, too.
Straight to the point. Now, what does a Band 9 answer sound like? Test taker speaker. I'd say that frequent changes can lead to stress and uncertainty because individuals constantly need to adapt to new environments or situations. And it may also disrupt stability in their personal or professional lives, making it harder to establish long-term goals or relationships. Did you catch that vocabulary? It's like they're speaking on a whole other level.
It's not just the words, though. The Band 9 answer expands on the ideas, goes a little deeper, doesn't it?
Totally agree.
All right, next question.
Interesting. Now, when things like getting married or moving home happen, what kinds of things would you consider?
Let's go back to our Band 8 answer for this one. Test taker speaker. For big changes like those, getting married or moving, I think people should definitely think about their budget, how it'll affect their daily life, and if they're actually ready for that change,
Thinking practically. What's the Band 9 perspective on this? Test taker speaker. Well, when you're facing those significant life events like marriage or relocating, factors like financial stability are crucial, of course, but also emotional readiness, compatibility with the new environment or partner, and even thinking about long-term goals. These should be carefully considered to ensure a smooth transition. Whoa, did you hear those words? Emotional readiness, compatibility, smooth transition. It's a whole different language.
It's not just the fancy words, though, right? It's how that Band 9 answer really builds on the ideas and goes deeper.
Absolutely. Okay, let's hear the next one.
Interesting points. So tell me, who do you think adapts better to changes, children or adults?
Okay, so who do you think adapts better, kids or grown-ups? Test taker speaker. I think children adapt better, you know? They're more flexible and open to learning new things. Adults, well, they might find it harder because they're so used to the routines. Yeah, makes sense. Let's see if the Band 9 answer agrees with that. Test taker speaker. Children generally adapt more easily to changes, I'd say. It's because of their natural curiosity and that flexibility in learning new things. Adults, on the other hand, they may face challenges. They're often, set in their ways or have responsibilities that make adaptation more complex.
It's true, isn't it? Kids are like sponges just soaking up everything new. And adults, well, we've got bills, deadlines. Change can really shake things up.
Exactly. How do you adapt to changes in life? Test taker speaker. I try to stay positive and focus on the good things about the change. I also talk to friends or family for advice if I'm feeling a bit unsure. Good.
I feel that. Having those people you can lean on is so important when you're going through a big change. Test taker speaker. I adapt to changes by maintaining a positive mindset and viewing them as opportunities for growth, actually. Planning ahead, seeking support from loved ones, and staying flexible, those things help me navigate transitions effectively.
There it is again, that depth. The Band 9 answer doesn't just say stay positive. It's like a whole strategy for handling change.
Totally. Like they've got this whole toolkit of coping mechanisms ready to go.
Okay. Now, why do some people quit and change jobs? Test taker speaker. Well, people change jobs if they're unhappy. Maybe with their salary or the work environment. Some also do it if they want better career opportunities or more challenges, I guess. Okay.
Practical reasons, for sure. Let's hear the Band 9 take on this. Test taker speaker. People often change jobs due to dissatisfaction. It could be with salary, lack of growth opportunities, maybe a poor work-life balance, or even a toxic workplace environment. Others might seek new roles for professional development or because those roles align better with their long-term career goals.
That's interesting. The Band 9 answer mentions some of the tougher reasons people might switch jobs, like a toxic work environment. It's not always about ambition. Sometimes it's about just taking care of yourself.
So true. And I like how they brought up work-life balance. It's not all about climbing the ladder anymore.
Indeed. For the last question, do you like new things or changes in life? Test taker speaker. Yes, I do. I like changes sometimes. They make life exciting and help me learn new things. But too many changes, that can be stressful. Okay, thank you.
I think a lot of us can relate to that, right? Change is good, but too much can be overwhelming. Test taker speaker. I enjoy changes that bring positive growth or new experiences. They keep life interesting and challenging, but I also value stability in certain areas, so I prefer a balanced approach, a balance between change and consistency. That Band 9 answer, it just gets it. Life is about that sweet spot, embracing the new, but having a solid base.
It's like they summed up the whole human experience in one IELTS answer.
Okay, so we've made it through our mini IELTS simulation. Before we do a deeper analysis, any aha moments for you as you listen to those answers?
For me, the big takeaway is that it's not just what you say, but how you say it. Both the Band 8 and 9 answers hit the main points, but those Band 9 answers just had this extra sophistication and nuance.
It's like they were playing chess, while the Band 8 answers were playing checkers.
Exactly. And it wasn't even about using all these big fancy words. It was about using the right words, expressing those ideas clearly and convincingly.
And the structure, the flow of the answers. Those Band 9 responses were so well organized, easy to follow, like they were telling a story, even with a complex question.
I noticed that too. The Band 9 answers had a rhythm, a coherence that I think is so key in a high-pressure exam like that.
Okay, so we're seeing some of the key parts of a Band 9 answer. But there's got to be more to it, right?
Oh, there's definitely more. We've only just scratched the surface.
Okay, so let's unpack what we've learned from these Band 9 answers. It's like they've got a secret code, and we're here to crack it.
Yeah, their vocabulary, for one, really stands out. It's not about using big words just to impress. They're choosing words that are precise, powerful. Like when they talked about moving to Bengaluru, that word transformative just elevates the whole answer.
It's true. They're painting a picture with their words. You can really feel the impact of the change.
Exactly. And that's what those examiners are looking for. They want to see you express yourself with nuance and clarity.
Okay, vocabulary is crucial. Anything else jump out at you?
The way they structure their answers, it's masterful. They're not just throwing out random thoughts. There's a clear progression. Introduce the topic, elaborate on it, and then often link it back to the bigger picture.
Like they're giving a mini presentation for each question.
Right, and it just makes their answers so much more engaging, persuasive. You're not just listening to words, you're following their thought process.
I noticed that too. It's like they're having a real conversation with the examiner, not just giving a robotic response.
Exactly. There's a natural flow, a rhythm, even though it's a high-pressure exam. I think that comes from practice and confidence.
So what we're seeing is that a Band 9 answer, it's this mix of things.
Mhm.
Vocabulary, structure, fluency, and even a bit of personality shining through.
It is. It's like baking a cake. You need all the right ingredients in the right amounts to create something really delicious.
Okay, last question for you, and really think about this one. If you were taking the IELTS, what would be your biggest takeaway from this deep dive? What's that one piece of advice you'd keep in mind sitting across from the examiner?
That's a good one. For me, it'd be to remember that the IELTS, it's not just testing your English knowledge, it's testing your communication skills. So don't just focus on memorizing vocabulary or grammar rules. Think about how you can use the language to really express yourself in a way that's clear, engaging, and convincing.
That is such a valuable point. It's not just what you say, but how you say it.
Exactly. And don't forget, practice makes perfect. The more you practice speaking English in all sorts of situations, the more confident and fluent you'll become.
This has been such an eye-opening deep dive into the IELTS speaking exam. We went beyond just surface observations and really broke down what makes those Band 9 answers tick.
And hopefully our listeners are walking away feeling a bit more equipped, like they've got the knowledge and strategies to reach their own IELTS goals.
So whether you're aiming for a Band 7, a Band 8, or that amazing Band 9, remember that with the right preparation and the right mindset, anything is possible.
Absolutely. And don't forget to enjoy the process. Learning a language, it can be challenging, but it's so rewarding.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll catch you next time for another fascinating exploration. Until then, keep those brains buzzing.